Hi, my name is Robert. Please read the comments in the About section of this video. It has valuable information and updates. My YouTube channel has a disclaimer video that I encourage you to watch. And please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you found what you're looking for. Thank you very much for watching. If you have a P80 wagon like this, and you're having trouble with your rear hatch locking or not unlocking with the doors, or tailgate lights not working, something like that, you likely have a problem with your wire harness. Your wire harness feeds through the door, comes down through this hinge area right here. This is part of it, goes down through here, and it hinges in this panel. And inside that panel, it keeps pivoting, hinging. It starts breaking these little wires. So you'll need to remove this panel, get in there and splice those wires back together to get all this stuff back right. Other than that, you'll keep having issues. Now, when I lower or raise my hatch, I can hear it cycling my door locks. My door locks cycle when I lowered the hatch, I think. See it go down? That's because it's making wire contact in here as if I'm rotating the key inside the cylinder. So I was driving down the street a day or two ago and my doors were locking and unlocking. So I need to get in here and fix these wires. First thing I do is take this out. Be careful you don't break it. I didn't notice, but this one's already broke. So I need to get one of those. Then I take this T20 out there, T25 rather, and I carefully pull this trim loose from under here. Pivot it down a little bit. Then I pop the clips loose going up to that C-pillar so that this can hang down and I can access these wires in here. It may be best to take this all the way out so you don't break it by accident. So it's got clips going along in here and in here. So let me grab that with two hands so I don't break it. It's already got a chip missing there. Man, this phone is not good with backlight. Anyway, when I wiggle this wire harness, you may be able to hear the doors locking and unlocking. So, need to find the broken wires. I'm going to take this wire harness loose there. It actually comes loose. You use like a little pen knife or something, or a tiny screwdriver. Open that up, slide the wires out here. They're probably broken right there. When I poke that, I hear the locks ratcheting. The next thing I did was unplug this big harness so it can quit cycling through there. Now I'm going to take this loose here. There's a little tab in there. You pull that open. Now you can work this zip tie open like that. Now I have the wire harness down in my hand. Now I'm going to untape it and pull the sleeve off of this and start checking these wires one by one. You can see that's frayed as well. But I think the damage is where that holds it. So let me pull that apart. I don't know what the part number to this harness is. Wish I did. If I could buy a new harness for this, I would. Be better than jacking around with these wires, I think. But anyway, let me get in here and get this done. Next, I pulled this down as far as I could. I got up there where the zip tie goes. I sliced that up and down. And now I can see these broken wires in here. So I got this wire looks broke, even though it's still together. Three wires that I could see broken. Maybe a couple more on their way. So let me take a close look at these. Splice these wires back together, and my rear hatch should be good to go again. Ended up with 5 wires broke. It looks like 2 22 gauges, a couple 18 gauges, and a 12 gauge. I'm not sure why, but I also have a brake light warning. So maybe that harness has something to do with that too, because I started getting that a couple of weeks ago intermittently. So I figured out that that brake light is the brake light that's in the hatch. The other two are working. Go to the store, get these assorted connections. The red ones should be good from like 18 to 24 or 22. The blue one should be good from 14 to 18, and then the yellow one should be good from 10 to 14. So they're less than $5. You get 4 of each, I think, and then you clean the wire, a little bit of the wire off. You push it all the way down in there, and you squeeze it with vice grips or the inside of your pliers or something, so that they crimp that thing. And then you grab the 2 wires, tug them, make sure that they don't come apart. You don't want the wire coming out, so make sure you get them in there good. If I cut one of these open, you'll see there's a stop right in the middle, halfway down. So when you push the wire in that way, it'll stop. Push the wire in that way, it'll stop. And then down in there, you can see that stop. And then there's some aluminum that when you squeeze it with the pliers or whatever, it crushes on the wire, gives it a good connection. They have some of these with shrink wrap. They get all different kind of these. So these are the most common ones. If you're not shrink wrapping it or sealing it somehow, you want to use these on internal use, not external. If it's exposed to the weather, you definitely want to weatherproof it with the kind that are shrink wrapped or something. They're only probably 3 times the price. So instead of spending $4, you might spend $12. I normally twist the end up real tight before I put these on. I'm gonna try to put a blue one on that one, see if it'll fit. I want to get them as tight as possible. So I take that, I want to make sure that that slides all the way in there to the stop. If it doesn't, then I got to go up a size. Yeah, I got to trim a little bit of that wire off because it's hitting the stop before it gets in there. My wire end is too long on that one, it leaves some exposed. These strands of wire ain't that thick. You could use a strong pair of scissors or tin snip or, you know, something along that lines. Problem I have with adding these kind of jumpers on there, see, I got 5 wires I had to fix, is now my thickness of this area is twice as big because I got all this extra plastic around there. So I'm gonna need to tape that up and get that where I can get it back in that sleeve, and I should be good to go. So let me see if I can find my electrical tape. Got it all back together. Let's see if it works. Shouldn't have no low brake light. I shouldn't hear no doors ratcheting. Sounds good. And when I lock the door, the back should always lock now. I was having intermittent issues with the back not locking when I locked the front door. So I should be good to go.